Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there doing this work in truth and sincerity. So real quick, man, I just want to go straight into this. This is Daniel's 3 and 1. Now Nebuchadnezzar, the king, made an image of gold whose height was 60 cubits, and the breadth thereof 6 cubits. He set it up in the plain of Dura, in the province of Babylon. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king sent together the princes, the governors, and the captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the province to come to the dedication of the image which Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Then the princes, the governors and captains, the judges, the treasurers, the counselors, the sheriffs, and all the rulers of the provinces were gathered together unto the dedication of the image that Nebuchadnezzar the king set up, and they stood before the image that Nebuchadnezzar had set up. And it says, Then he herald cried out loud, To you it is commanded, O people, nations, and language. And it says that at what time you hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, a psaltery, a dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king hath set up. And whoso falleth not down and worshipeth, shall the same hour be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. Therefore at that time, when all the people heard the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, a psaltery, and all kinds of music, all the people, the nations, and languages fell down and worshipped the golden image that Nebuchadnezzar the king had set up. Wherefore at that time certain Chaldeans came near and accused the Jews. They spake and said to the king, Nebuchadnezzar, O king, live forever. Thou, O king, hast made a decree that every man that shall hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, a psaltery, and a dulcimer, and all kinds of music shall fall down and worship the golden image. And whoso falleth down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into and whosoever falleth not down and worshipeth, that he should be cast into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. There are certain Jews whom thou hast set over the affairs of the province Babylon, Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego. These men, O king, have not regarded thee. They serve not thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then Nebuchadnezzar, in his rage and fury, commanded to bring Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Then they brought these men before the king. Nebuchadnezzar spake and said unto them, Is it true, O Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego? Do not ye serve my gods, nor worship the golden image which I have set up? Now if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made. Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that power that shall deliver you out of my hands? Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego answered and said to the king, O Nebuchadnezzar, who art not careful to answer thee in this matter, if it be so, our power whom we serve is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of the hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. Then was Nebuchadnezzar full of fury, and the form of his visage was changed against Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Therefore he spake and commanded that they should heat the furnace 17 times more than it was wont to be heated. And he commanded the most mighty men that were in his army to bind Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and to cast them into the burning fiery furnace. Then these men were bound in their coats, their hosen, and their hats, and their other garments, and were cast into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Therefore, because the king's commandment was urgent, and in the furnace exceedingly hot, the flame of the fire slew those men that took up Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And these three men, Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego, fell down bound into the midst of the burning fiery furnace. Then Nebuchadnezzar the king was atoned, and rose up in haste, and spake and said unto his counselors, Did not we cast three men bound into the midst of the fire? They answered and said unto the king, True, O king. He answered and said, Lo, I see four men loose walking in the midst of the fire, and they have no hurt, and the form of the fourth is like the Son of the Most High. Then Nebuchadnezzar came near to the mouth of the burning fiery furnace, and spake and said, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, ye servants of the Most High Power, come forth and come hither. Then Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego came forth of the midst of the fire, and the princes, governors, and the captains, and the king's counselors, being gathered together, saw these men, upon whose body the fire had no power, nor was an hair of their head singed, neither were their coats changed, nor the smell of fire had passed on them. Then Nebuchadnezzar spake and said, Blessed be the power of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who have sent his angel and delivered his saints that trusted in him, and have changed the word and yielded their bodies, that they might not serve nor worship any god except their own power. So they trusted in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua to do what? To deliver them out of that situation. And that's what Yahweh Bashim Yahushua did. You know, as long as you have trust in the Lord, he will deliver you out of the things that's coming upon this earth. And there's going to be things that come upon this earth that you have never seen. There's going to be there's going to be racial war. There's going to be martial law. There's going to be forced chippings. There's going to be death, bloodshed. You know, the scriptures tell you in Revelations 11 and 8, it says, Their dead bodies shall lie in that street, which is spiritually called Sodom, which Sodom is for sodomite, which is homosexuality or lesbianism. That great city that is called Sodom in Egypt. In Egypt, Exodus 20 and 2 represents bondage, which is America. So in these times to come, you gotta have faith. Shamrach, Meshach, and Abednego have faith that Yahweh Shema Shah will save them from the burning fiery furnace, and that's just what happened. And I'm gonna grab one of my favorites. This is Deuteronomy 20 and 4. And it says, For the Lord your power is he that goeth with you, to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And that's what's coming. The Lord is going to fight, Lord willing. The Lord, if we be of the elect, the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shah, will fight for us in that day and deliver us out of these times to come. So real quick, I'm going to grab this. This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 13. And it says, Watch ye, stand fast in the faith. Quit you like men, be strong. So you got to have faith, and you got to be strong in these times to come. You know, and you can see the Most High is riling up the spirits out there. You know, there's many spirits out there that's riling up because we are at these end times, right? So let me grab this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 7. And it says, For we walk by faith, not by sight, right? Because we don't, the scripture says, Blessed is he that have not seen but believe. We believe in Yahweh Shema Shah without even having to see him. Without even having to see Yahweh, without even having to see Yahweh Shah. Yahweh being the Father, Yahweh Shah being the Son. We believe that these things are coming, even though we have not seen them yet on the mass level, meaning the martial law, you know, that haven't happened yet. You know, the racial wars, that's That's brewing up to happen, you know. But we have faith in Yahweh Shema Shah that He would deliver us out of these troubles. So, like the scripture says, for we walk by faith, not by sight, man. So we trust that Yahweh Shema Shah would deliver us in these times to come, right? So, real quick, let me grab this. What is that? That's Romans chapter 1, verse 7. This is Romans chapter 1, verse, let me see. Is that 7 or 17? 17. It says, for therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith. As it is written, the just shall live by faith, right? And when you go into that word justice means righteous, right? So the righteous shall live by faith. You know, brothers that's keeping the laws, the statutes, commandments with the best of their ability, they're going to live by faith. They're going to trust in Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. You know, Salakia. Right, so let me read that back. Romans chapter 1, verse 17. For therein is the righteousness of the Most High revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. So let me grab this real quick. This is Romans, Salakia. What is that? Slipped my mind right now. What is that? All right, Romans chapter 10, verse 8. And it says, but what saith it? The word is nigh thee, and in thy mouth, and in thy heart. That is the word of faith which we preach, right? And that's what we're speaking. We're speaking the words of faith. You know, the scriptures tell you that this is a time that have never happened. So let me grab that real quick. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. And it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. So these things that's going to take place is things that have never happened, man. You know, so in these times to come, you got to live by faith, right? So you got to believe in something that's not there. You know, that's not, and when I say not there, I'm meaning not being able to feel, touch, you know, taste, or however these people in the world say. But at the same time, we know that it is there because it is something spiritual. You know, the scripture says, for the natural man receiveth not the spirit of the Most High, right? And these people are completely natural, man. So let's get this real quick. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 11, verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtained a good report. Through faith we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear. By faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, but which he obtained witness that he was righteous, the Most High testifying of his gifts, and by it he, being dead, yet speaketh, man. So, you know, if you go down these, if you go down the scripture, this book, you're gonna see this is written all on the faith of those that the Most High was dealing with. So let's keep going real quick. By faith, Enoch translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because the Most High have translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased the Most High. But without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. So that's all I pretty much want on that. So this thing is about faith, man. You know, it is not about having to see or having to touch or, you know, feel it. This thing is about faith, believing in something you can't see. So let me grab this real quick. This is the book of John, chapter 20, verse 29. And it says, Yahweh Shah saith unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed. So you gotta trust and believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua at the end of the day. You know, that's what the scriptures tell you. And real quick, let me get this. Going back into Second Ezra, the 9th chapter. So let me grab this real quick. This is the book of Second Ezra, chapter 9. I think that's verse 7, maybe. Yeah. So Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 7. And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith whereby ye have believed. So I like to say Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Barak de Yahweh, Barak de Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakah Kadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutations to you brothers out there that's doing this work at true sincerity. I like to say Mawafla Bible, which is death to Babylon, and Lord willingness is edifying for you brothers out there that's doing this work at true sincerity. I like to say Shalom.